Hey, Bruce Feldman here, joined today by a great guest for Thanksgiving week. It is standout offensive lineman Nick Ford from Utah. Nick, thanks for joining us today.
Appreciate you for having me.
So the timing I think is ideal here. Obviously, Thanksgiving, a lot to be thankful for. Before we get into what you've done on the field, I do want to kind of spotlight some of the great work you've done off the field. And one of those things is really helping some folks in need, which you have done, including with one of your rival players at BYU, to help foster families in feeding them. Tell me how that came about.
Yeah. So, a little while back, I was cooking and, giving it to my friends and people in the community. And this guy hit me up with the opportunity. He said, I'm willing to donate you some money. You think you want to do something cool? And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, cook for somebody else. I was like, all right. So then I wound up getting in touch with the foster care system, in which I had an event. The first event, I got about $1,000 and wound up cooking some food for some people. And a lot of people loved it. I saw a lot of positivity coming out of it. So I decided to do it again. And the second time I brought along a wide receiver, Solomon Enos. And then we got more donations. And we even got a food company to donate all the food. So then, it became a little bit bigger. And then when I went out to go play BYU, Lorenzo, I knew him for some while now because he's my friend's cousin, and we also wear the same number. We've been playing against each other. He came up to me prior to the game, and we were talking, and all the fans were looking at us like, we were crazy as heck. They didn't know what the heck we were doing, and he said he was really inspired by what I was doing, and if there's anything he could do to help, that he would be more than willing to. And I told him, yeah, man, you wanna collab, we go ahead and shock, Provo County and Utah County and Salt Lake County. Like everyone will be, because it's bigger than a football game, especially when people want to join forces and help out. So then, we got in contact, we started setting things up and created a donate link. And now we're going to go down there December 12th, either in Lehigh or American Fork, and cook and have a bunch of BYU players and Utah players. Because yeah, like I said, it's more than a game, and we have relationships down there. The rivalry is awesome, but it's even better to go help out people in the community.
How have you been able to use your platform, especially on social media, to kind of raise awareness for such a good cause?
Just posting about it, talking about it. That social media is like a common thing nowadays. Everyone goes on it whenever they have free time, and I just understood, especially when that NIL stuff came around. I wasn't too concerned about, making a crazy amount of money or doing anything. I was more happy that I could openly support things that I love doing or wanted to get involved with. And I just took it as, Instagram, Twitter, and the fan base and everything is a great way to, create a movement or create a, just some type of nonprofit to, go ahead and begin helping people out. And I just thought it was awesome because I know our fan base is awesome here, and they would love to, pitch in and help.
Where does that kind of philanthropic side of you stem from, you think?
I'd say just like growing up, taking care of my brother. A lot of people know the story about my brother who passed away from heart condition. Me and my family took care of him our entire life. He died at about 21 and a half, 22 years old. I say a lot of it comes from that. I grew up in sharing the same room with them for a long time, and I wanted to do a lot for them. And that's always been my kind of thing, especially with how I was raised. Make sure you take care of others. That's the main thing.
Has it just been really honoring his legacy as much as the lessons you probably learned from having that perspective?
Oh yeah, for sure. It's both, for sure. The lessons that I've had from that perspective and making sure, his name, the legacy lives on is definitely, I think, combined. It shaped me to be the person that I am today. And I definitely want to make sure everyone knows who he was.
What does Thanksgiving mean to you?
Thanksgiving was my brother's favorite holiday because he loves food. So his birthday is the 27th. Of this month, November. So sometimes it would fall on Thanksgiving. So it's always been his favorite holiday. And it's always been like a family holiday for me, making sure everyone has good food, everyone hangs out and has the opportunity to talk and eat. And basically that's what Sunday supper is, which I created. It's like a Thanksgiving, so to speak, because, when you start having the camaraderie and the food and everything, everyone, gets a little bit happier and starts hanging out and talking. And it's just an overall good feeling. So just family and friends, really.
You have a go-to thing that you cook for these dinners?
Uh, for the Sunday supper dinners?
Yeah.
No, it's completely random. The first time, what did we do the first time? The first time we did chicken Alfredo. Yeah, because everyone wanted to do chicken Alfredo. Second time we did enchiladas. This time we're working on a menu right now because we just have more donations coming in from both counties and Nichols, the food company. And so, with those donations and with the donations of the food, we can kind of go ahead and make something a little more hearty or healthy. And that's the main thing that I wanted when I first started doing this was I wasn't trying to go out and get pizzas or Subway or something like that because I mean that's just a normal thing everyone could do. I wanted to be a home cooked meal, something that it was from somebody's heart. Me and the chef Trevor over there. It's an actual genuine meal that was cooked. So I don't have a select menu. We switch it up every time. I just want to make sure it's us cooking it and not prepackaged stuff.
So it's going to be probably an emotional couple of days. You obviously have Thanksgiving, which means a lot to you and your family and to a lot of families. And then on Friday, you guys will be hosting CU 2:00 kickoff their local time. Are you going to walk as part of Senior Day Friday? I know you're still technically a junior, but will you be walking with your teammates?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna walk. So it'll be emotional. You know what the future holds for me, I don't know, but I'm for sure gonna go out there and walk. I've been here for 5 years, and it's been really fun. And whatever the future holds, and yeah.
You've been a guy who's been really selfless there. I mean, by nature, it seems like offensive linemen almost always are. But the fact is, you've played 5 different positions across the front, been recognized at center and guard and different places. Let me ask you this. So towards your bond with this program, what has your relationship been like with Coach Whittingham?
Coach Wood has been awesome. He's the reason I came here. I mean, for everyone who comes here, they'll probably say the same thing. It's him and a couple other coaches and just the people. It's a family atmosphere here, and he harps on that 100%. I mean, we had a team meeting the other day. He said, make sure everyone in this room gives me a list of where their players are going for Thanksgiving. If no one's on that list, you're gonna come to my house. Like that's just the type of coach he is to the players, and you can really see it. And our relationship's been awesome. I talk to him all the time, see him in the hallways, go up to his office and talk to him, and a bunch more. I mean, when a lot of the players here talk about family and being together, sticking together, it really shows when you come here, and it for sure shows this past year with the tragedies we had. But yeah, it's Coach Wood is a family man, and he takes you in like his own, and he has nothing but love for you the entire time you're here.
You mentioned those tragedies. Obviously, it's been a really, really exhausting year, I'm sure, emotionally for you guys. Going back to even last winter with Ty, and now early into the season. Not to steer it off of that, but going from what you guys have been through, and then how you guys have come on the field, and got on this roll. What has been this emotional roller coaster been like for you as one of the leaders of this team?
It's been tough. It's been a roller coaster, like you said. There's been a lot of ups and downs. I've had to console a lot of people, and even on days where it was hard for me, couldn't really show it just because you had to make sure everything was okay for everybody else. And that's kind of how it was when my brother passed away. I had to take care of my family, so I took a lot of lessons from that. And I think that, I shared a lot of my experiences with a lot of boys who had experienced the first loss, because some of them people, it was their first loss. A lot of people were really hurt by them. And yeah, I think just sharing my experiences and offering my house to everybody and, cooking for people, hanging out, and just doing everything that, I could do and be there for them. And that even relates to season. I mean, you look at season, it's been a down, up type deal. And I just think overall it shows the personality of this team. This team has been through a lot, losses in life and losses on the field, but the grit and determination that a lot of these boys have shows just the difference in this team and the family atmosphere in this team, that even though we've been through so much, we're still going to get the job done and get to where we need to be because we understand what we have to do.
Given what you guys have been through, what was it like in the locker room after you guys blow out, in the number 3 team in the country last week? I imagine it was probably a quite an adrenaline ride, right?
Yeah, no, it was fun. I mean, we beat them. They're number 3 in the country. We had those awesome new uniforms, advocating for the USS Salt Lake. Coach Witt got his record-breaking win. I mean, that was the first time. As soon as we gave our prayer and stuff, Coach Witt yelled, "Let's get ready to party!" Like, I've never heard him say that. Like, everyone was having a great time. Started playing music, all hanging out, talking. Everyone's messing around like we always do, though. Like we always do that, though. Granted, it was a little bit bigger of a stage. We just enjoy the moment all that more.
What would be your biggest memory from, if this is your last season at Utah? What would be the strongest memory you've had from your time there?
On or off the field?
You pick. You tell me.
Oh, I'll give you both. I say off the field is for sure going to be working with these foster kids, and I also helped out with the classroom, this Cherry Blues classroom. I think it should be helping kids in general off the field here. I've done a lot camps. So we had a YIP camp, Youth Impact Program, where we brought in troubled kids, stayed with them for about a week, them and some Marines, and did a bunch of stuff, and helped a lot of those kids get out of bad situations. I've held Miss Cherry Blues class, which is a class with kids who are special needs, and also this foster care program that I had created that I intend on keeping going. I intend on passing the torch to somebody here and also coming back to make sure it's still going well. So off the field is for sure just helping all the kids that have been around in the community. On the field, that's tough. It got to be this Oregon win or the win in the Coliseum or a really close game 2 years ago versus UW where we took it. That game was just crazy. But as far as that might be the Oregon game, as far as atmosphere and just overall fun, and the first time the crowds ever stormed the field, like that was crazy.
So beyond football, given what you've learned, how do you take all this stuff that you have and carry it forward in terms of like, what do you really want to do beyond football?
So when I'm done playing football, hopefully I have a good couple years in the league, 10, 15 years, whatever it may be. I'm debating on whether or not I want to come back to Utah. I know I want to come back to Utah. And I'm debating on if I want to open a restaurant because a lot of people in the community love my food, and it'd be more of a restaurant to where if you're a college kid who's down on their luck, come in, we'll help you out, give what you can give. And the same thing with like the community, if you're struggling, you need a meal, it's going to be the same thing, but at the same time, have a functioning restaurant. So that way people who can pay and tip will pay and tip, but then all those paying and tips and profit will start building into a fund to where people who need it or are struggling, if they come in, we can take care of them. So like a community-based restaurant, or if not that, I think I'm going to go back to med school. I've had a really big fascination in medicine, anesthesia particularly, and just finish my years in the league, come back, redo my sciences to make sure I understand everything. And sometimes they expire, and go to med school, take the MCAT, and become an anesthesiologist.
You could do both. You could do the med school, become the anesthesiologist, and then open up a restaurant.
Maybe, we'll see. Yeah, I've done a lot of things in life, so might as well.
Nick, we wish you a great Thanksgiving, and much respect to all you're doing. It's pretty amazing what you've been able to do there so far and continue to do.
Thank you. You have a good Thanksgiving too. Oh my gosh, I stumbled.
It's all right. You have reason to be tired.
It's all good.
Thanks, Nick.
Thank you.